LAFC Black and Gold, we are here, episode 6. Great to be back at Bank of California Stadium here, ready to open up. It's smelling a little stale. We need to get this more active again, and that's going to happen in a big way in July. Welcome into the show. It's been a minute, gentlemen.
I feel like it's been a while since we've been here, right?
Are you ready? We're a little rusty. We got to kick off some of that as well.
27 days, 28 days, something like that, right?
I'm sure you know.
For MLS play.
For MLS play, with the U.S. Open Cup, but everyone, and there's guys on international duty. We'll get to all of that on the show. It is action-packed. Allow me to introduce everybody. Mark Rogandino, who is our LAFC TV host on YouTube TV. You know him, you love him. And Vince LaRosa, who is the, can I say insider?
I hate that term.
I know you do. That's why I brought it up. That's why I brought it up.
What do you prefer?
I just LAFC.com. Let's just say yes. I run the show.
Okay, all right.
What was it Jordan Harvey said at one time?
The man that sets the narrative.
The man that sets the narrative. Okay. That's going to be your autobiography. All right, let's get right into it, guys. And here we are into the month of July, the unofficial midway point of the season. And LAFC on top of everything here in Major League Soccer, they're looking great. And now they're going to kick back. We'll see how they do in the second half. I think we all think they'll do well, Mark. But when we look back at the first half of the season, how do you evaluate it? What was a surprise? Maybe, I dare say a disappointment. There mustn't, the list, if it's existent, is very, very short.
Hey, Vince, if I told you we were going to have only one loss, be dominating on both ends of the field, I mean, I think the term is smelling like a rose, right? Because
is it?
Yeah. Right,
Bite your hand off, right? Yeah, right, let's take it.
I mean, if I told you that all the way back in the beginning of March, that this team, you guys, would be where they are right now, scoring goals like crazy, defending really well, I think it's everything. Expectations have been exceeded.
Absolutely. I mean, my big evaluation is the two Eddies. How good they've been this season. Eddie Segura comes in, we think, Samon's gone, what about that defense? No problems anymore. Like, no questions asked. I don't even worry about him. And then Eduard Atuesta. I mean, he's the man that runs this ship. He pushes through the middle. Carlos Vela and him, I believe, have linked up for 6 goals.
You figure that's going to dry up and it continues on.
Yeah.
It's almost mechanical the way that works out. This is a historic season that we're looking at with regards if there are players. I made a little list here and I'm running out of digits on my hands. People have exceeded expectations.
You didn't hurt yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Latif Blessing through the roof. Eddie Segura, we didn't expect much there. Even a guy like Walker Zimmerman, who gets his contract, starts with the national team. He is now going to the national team. He looks like he'll be a starting center back, Mark, for the national team moving forward.
Well, I made my own list too, guys.
Okay.
So obviously, in addition to the team stuff that's going on, you have Carlos Vela, who is the front runner for the MVP of the league. You look at Walker Zimmerman. If he continues to do, if defensively the Black and Gold continue to do what they're doing right now, and if he finds a way to actually chip in and score goals, as he's done so far through the first half of the season, he's going to be in the Defender of the Year conversation, no question.
Absolutely.
And then for me, what about Mac? Mark Anthony Kaye. He's got to be in the comeback player.
Never told the truth.
Keep your day job.
I thought I hit those notes pretty well.
I've got a deep cut for you.
Okay.
Somewhat
Is that a serious XM station?
Yeah. I got a deep cut for you.
Deep cuts.
Here's a surprise for me, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. Jordan Harvey. He's 35 years old. He's probably been one of the best left backs.
The durability.
I mean, we talked to the performance staff, and they say he is a freak of nature, and he just keeps going and going and going.
I just love the whole defense across. You mentioned Eddie. I know Beta's had to battle a couple of injuries here and there, but between Eddie, Walker, and Jordan, and then all of a sudden now we got there's no sophomore slump for Tristan Blackman. All of a sudden, he's coming around as a viable option to turn to if you need to replace an outside back. And he's great going forward. Bob talks about his athleticism. I mean, I want it to keep going this direction. You're waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Look, it's not going to be this great all the time. It can't be, or can it? We'll never know. I like the Jordan Harvey shout because he's been tremendous.
I like the deep cut.
I know, the deep cut.
New segment.
Vince is on fire. All right, let's go to the U.S. Open Cup, which has kept the team by and large busy through the month of June. And it's really rare to see an Open Cup squad like this. Yes, they're missing some national team players, but you trot out Carlos Vela. That's just not fair for opponents, but that's the way it is, and that's helped this team move through this competition. And Mark, as they get to the quarterfinals, will play Portland on July the 10th, a eagerly anticipated game. Let's look back what they did. Real Salt Lake went on the road and got it done. In San Jose, they beat a team that has been playing pretty well lately.
Certainly much better than the first time they saw him in MLS play early on in the season, right, guys? Actually, one of the biggest stories I like out of the Open Cup, Cisniega. I love it. I mean, Tyler Miller is the true number one. There's no question, right? But I think that having Cisniega there to push him And he played great in that game against San Jose. The second half, the kid was
Bob
on.
Bradley likes to see guys
The kid
pushing
was
other
on
guys,
fire.
I'm sure.
Plus, you know, Cisniega and I share something.
Yeah.
You know what it is, right?
You're both really good looking. What?
Well,
I don't know.
that
Great head of hair.
no spleens. Goalkeepers with no spleens.
That I didn't expect.
How am I going to top that?
Don't show your scar, by the way. Okay. All right, Vince, that is going to be tough to go, but what do you see from what they've done?
I mean, I like both points that you made. I love that, you know, when other teams are playing maybe a B team, we've trot out Carlos Vela. We're saying we're taking this serious. Yeah, we've got some guys international duty, but look at this team still. And then just the wins. You know, RSL, they knocked us out in the playoffs. You get that little bit of revenge. San Jose is a team that you know is going to come down here, and they gave everything they had. Pablo comes up big. Team basically turns it around on them. And I really love that Carlos Vela got that third goal, because that's what we were missing so much last season in big games. So you can call it a garbage time goal, but I think for us, we need that third goal every match.
And Max, I love that you can say we're still running after the treble.
Yes, that is good.
I love that.
And how many games for Cisniega do you think we said? Like 2 or 3 more games for him?
At least 2 or 3 more,
Okay.
because US is going to probably go far in the Gold Cup.
All right, good stuff, guys. As let's look at the bracket for the U.S. Open Cup. You have a little bit of everything. The heavy hitters, LAFC, Atlanta, New York City, and then you got the surprises in New Mexico, St. Louis, LAFC, Portland. That's on July 10th. Do not miss it. It's going to be big time. Get to Bank of California Stadium for that one. All right, we continue on here on the LAFC Black and Gold Show, and it's the time for Vince to sit down with the man in charge, Bob Bradley, face to face. That's next.
Welcome back to LAFC Black and Gold. I'm here with Bob Bradley. Bob, you've sat with Max, you sat with Javrina, you sat with Rogo, now you're sitting with me. I just wonder, do you feel any pressure? What are you feeling right now?
Vince, you've earned it, man. You've worked hard, and you know, your understanding of what's going on around here keeps going up. So I think it's your turn.
We'll see how you feel after these questions, right?
No problem.
Bob, recently we've seen the depth of your squad. Guys have had to step in, whether it be for injuries, whether it be for Open Cup. Would you mind just kind of rating the guys that have really stepped up into those roles and just kind of give us an idea of what you feel about your depth and how they've done in those situations?
We take a lot of pride in the training that goes on every day, and we certainly challenge everybody to understand ideas and get better. Especially when a team's on a good stretch, it's not always that you're rotating as much if the schedule doesn't require it. But now we're getting to an important time of the year where the games are going to come very quickly, and so it's been great to see Pablo step in and get some confidence. He's made some really big plays. Really happy with Tristan, a young player that for me has now gotten more confidence and been way more aggressive in the way he moves around the field. So I think those are two really good examples that highlight the kind of training that takes place every day.
Speaking of training, the quirks of the schedule is giving you a chance to kind of maybe settle into a little bit extra training that you might not have had. You mentioned keeping the guys engaged, bringing ideas to them to keep it maybe not just fun, but engaging and keeping them sharp. Can you talk a little bit about the ways you've been doing that in training?
I think we're really lucky that the group is excited about the football that we play. And so we've not done anything out of the ordinary. We focused on the typical kind of training. By now, their sense of playing at a high tempo, having to make decisions quickly, the reactions that are necessary in order to win the ball back quickly. So many of those things just get challenged every day, and you can tell guys have enjoyed training, and there's been some really good football and some fantastic goals.
Those challenges are something that you never shy away from, and it's something that you raise the bar to your team every week. You always ask for challenges. As we go into the second half of the MLS season, your team are the front runners. You know that each week, the team that you go up against is going to be gunning for you. It's that target on your back. How much do you look forward to that, and how much does your team look forward to having those high-level competition games?
We love good games. We've had a good number of them so far this year. Obviously, teams watch the way we play and try to come up with an idea of what they want to do when they come up against us. So we have to be confident in what we do. We have to be able to adapt a little bit to some of the things that go on inside the game. But I think the maturity of the team has really paid off. And we're looking forward to all the big games that are coming up quickly.
Thank you, Bob. I'm not going to say you survived. I'm going to say I survived because you got me through this one on my first one. So thank you so much for being here with us today.
All right, Vince. Well done, man.
More LAFC Black and Gold after this.
Check out the latest episode of LAFC in 30.
Diego Rossi! Picking up where he left off in season 1. Oh, it's a lovely time by Diamande!
That's all the action.
Right here on YouTube TV.
Welcome back to LAFC Black and Gold from the bank. We are here inside the locker room, and it's time for Onside or Offside. I am the official. It's hard for me to wear this because you won't find a bigger opponent to VAR these days than this dude.
It's hard to take you serious with that on, actually.
I know, it just doesn't. Anyway. I think I look great, but it just hurts a little
I
bit.
will say, can you just do this real quick for me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
All right, so this is how it works. If the statement is onside and you agree with it, you keep your flag down. If it's offside, you raise that flag, okay? Gentlemen, you have been briefed. First topic, let's get into it. LAFC will go undefeated in July, Vince. Well, you know, we may not want to hear that at home. Why not?
I'm sorry, guys, and I know I'm going to take some heat for this, but when I'm looking at Open Cup quarterfinal against Portland and 2 days later a match in Houston, I'm thinking you're suiting up, I might be suiting up, and we've seen you in the staff game, Max. So I'm feeling like that might be might be one where we drop off.
A little game bonus would be nice, though, but I'm going to say offside as well. And I say that because I feel like it is only a little bit of human nature, right? The fact that coming back into the fold, we don't know exactly when the U.S. internationals will be returning into the fold. It's just, there's a lot of moving pieces right there.
Yeah, we're not going to put that kind of pressure on this team with road games in Kansas City, Houston, Galaxy, Atlanta. If they do go through this stretch, it's an all-time performance.
Let's just let it be clear. All three of us want
no
them
pressure from us.
All three of us want them to go unbeaten.
And the team does want that pressure.
No, I want them to lose a game because I don't want that pressure going into August. All right, let's go to the next topic, and it's the All-Star game is coming at the end of July. So would LAFC beat a collection of MLS All-Star players? Vince, onside or offside?
Onside, absolutely.
They would, all right.
I mean, the way Bob Bradley's got this machine running, you got a collection of guys that maybe are more talented as a sum, but they can't come together with the system that LAFC has. No way.
Facts.
No way.
No way. It's offside. It's offside. And I'm going to actually take it even a step further. I've been on the record saying, get rid of this format altogether. It is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
Hot take.
Whether it's against Atletico Madrid, whether it's against LAFC, give me something that the fans can latch onto rather than an Atletico Madrid team coming over with only half of their roster intact in midsummer's form. Give me Team Vela versus Team Fernandez. Give me Team Vela versus Team Rossi, where they get to pick it like Steph Curry and Kevin Durant, or Steph Curry and LeBron James got to do for the NBA. Make it way more exciting. You can expand the rosters even bigger right there. Let a lot of players get in. You could even go hockey and form 3 teams. And
What's
do
hockey?
Yeah,
exactly. I never heard of that.
And do it how they do the All-Star game. You form 3 teams and you do a knockout tournament. So everybody plays everybody.
Right.
This is offside.
You went off topic with your whole little plan for the All-Star, but I liked it. But you guys are sick.
There's ice and a little round. No,
Yeah.
we'll
Listen,
do it later.
Blue line, red line.
As Vince said, LAFC's practice all season long. They would destroy an MLS All-Star team because I've been to these games and they're practicing for the first time and it's a hot mess and they're not really positioned to have success. It's that simple. We will go to our next topic, and we know there's a DP slot. Have you heard? I'm sure you've all heard. So let's ask that question because a lot of people want to know the answer. All right, Vince, will LAFC need to make a major splash in the transfer window? No.
Another unpopular opinion. I know, look, I love transfers as much as everybody else, and I would love to see another big, huge star here, but this team is humming along. They're in first place. I know that this is the time that you can get a player from Europe and get value. But that's not even our MO anyways.
No.
We know we can still get players from South America in January at another time. It just doesn't seem right to me.
I'm with Vince on this one. I think that you got to stick with the chemistry that you have in this group. And so it's only one spot we know about, right? There's only one spot that if you're going to make a splash in the transfer market, it's a true number 9, at least in my eyes. But who's to say that Diamande is not going to find the form that he had last season? Christian Ramirez can chip in goals as well. And then we got that X factor in Fito, right? He finally got a few minutes recently in some Open Cup games. Maybe he gets in there and he becomes a 30-minute addition in the hour mark to come off the bench. So I think if you can't find a perfect number 9, which would be really tough to find right now in the middle, and big money in the middle of summer, I think you don't make an addition.
Well, I think people are asking for a big name from Europe, but let's take Carlos Vela out of it. What has LAFC succeeded in? A, South American young players, Segura, Atuesta, Rossi. I think they go in any direction, it'll be that one. Okay, we are rolling along on LAFC, black and gold, coming up next. You know him a little better than you did before, but let's get to know him even more. Pablo Cisniega has a great story. You'll hear it next. Plus, it's the social media showdown.
When we're born, we're more alike than we are different. Then somewhere along the way, we start to believe the more distant we are from each other, the more different we are. It's only when we venture into the world that we see all we share. Maybe that's the power of flight. Delta isn't flying just to bring us together, but to show we were never that far apart.
Another save, Cisniega. He's come up huge. He's had some really bright moments tonight, and Cisniega snuffs that out.
Pablo, you've been doing this long enough to know that if you wait your turn, you're going to get your chance. You obviously knew that the Open Cup was going to be an opportunity for you, but you came into those matches, 2 matches where you had to be big, you had to be strong, and you had to make plays.
Save Cisniega at the 6, and he hangs on! Another spectacular save!
Tell me about the excitement and then also being able to be composed in those moments.
I mean, I was very happy to finally get my chance to make my debut here at LAFC. I had been waiting for the opportunity, and obviously I knew it was going to come eventually.
Vargas
Blanco to equalize. Another save, Cisniega.
When it came and when I made those saves, I just kind of try and keep it cool because fans are only going to remember your last save or your last mistake, you know? So I feel like it's very important to just kind of keep a level head and keep going and keep playing until the very end.
Obviously, we know Tyler Miller is away. He's with the national team. That's what gave you an opportunity to step into his shoes. But what people maybe don't know is that obviously you and Tyler spend a lot of time together. Training is just the goalkeepers together. You had mentioned that Tyler had sent you a text just congratulating you and that you guys are close. Can you talk a little bit about the bond that you guys share on and off the pitch?
Since the first day I got here, Tyler was really, really nice to me. With goalkeepers, there's always like a competition between the goalkeepers, and you're usually friends off the field because, I mean, you share so much time, you share the position, you share experiences. So at the end of the day, I mean, you get to know the other guy like pretty well, and you spend more time with him probably than with your family. So even before he left, he told me like, hey, this is a good opportunity for you, try and take advantage of it. And like I told you, after the 2 games, he texted me, he was like, hey, great job. Keep doing what you're doing.
One of the things Bob Bradley talked about in his post-game after San Jose was how much time you spent with goalkeeper coach Zach Abdel. He said he also had to help you change a few things to really kind of raise your game to the next level. Can you maybe point out some specifics of some of the work he's been doing with you?
The techniques that I learned in Spain and the ones here in the US, they're very, I mean, not very different, but there's certain details that he's wanted to change. For example, I was on my toes a little bit more and he wants me to be a little more flat-footed. He wants my step position to be a little bit more closed, and certain details like that. On one-on-ones, sometimes he wants me to attack the attacker a little bit more and not give him as much time. There's just certain details that he's trying to, I guess, to polish in a way and to kind of raise my level and raise my game.
Speaking of Spain, you come to LAFC, it's a new team, but not everybody's new to you. There's one, Carlos Vela, that you know from Real Sociedad. You guys were actually roommates during a training camp.
Yeah.
So I just need all the dirt on Carlos right now. Tell me a little bit about what it was like with you guys at Sociedad.
It was an amazing experience, to be honest. It was my first preseason with the first team. And I'd spent a little time with Carlos. I knew him, but I didn't know him that well. And during that, I think it was like a 3-week training camp in the Netherlands, I was really able to get to know him. I was really able to talk, like to get a chance to talk with him, to spend a lot of time with him. And that's kind of where we formed a relationship that, I mean, to this day is still strong, you know?
I know you've been doing a lot of interviews lately, so thanks for sitting down with us.
Yeah.
More LAFC Black and Gold after this.
Vamos, LAFC. Vamos. Come with me, let me put you on. One time, take you to my home. Come with me, let me put you on. Let me put you. One time, take you to my home.
Here's to the stair takers, breakfast makers, step counters, outdoor explorers, faith restorers, appointment keepers, fantastic creatures, farmers market goers, cholesterol lowerers, cell phone silencers, the new lease on lifers, and the positive thinkers. Here's to you all that see every day as an opportunity to thrive your way.
Back here at Bank of California Stadium, it's the LAFC Black and Gold show, and it's time for the social media showdown. Doing things a little bit differently. The way you do it on social media. If you like something, you give it a heart, right?
Double tap.
Double tap. If you don't like it, well, you swipe up to the next thing. So if we like it, boom. Not, move it along. So I will get this one started, gentlemen. I was tempted to put this article about Maurizio Sarri smoking 60 cigarettes a day, but I went with something a little different. Juan Pablo Sorin, who is one of my favorite analysts in the United States, works for Telemundo, former Argentine international. He tweeted, as many people did, and the translation is postcards from the World Cup. Love is free, football is free. Pernille Harder, who plays for the Danish national team, which is to make the World Cup, one of the best players in the world. She was absent, but there she is at the FIFA World Cup, supporting her partner, Magda Eriksson of Sweden, wearing the Magda Eriksson shirt. This is just great. And the message by Sorin was the clincher for me, and that's why I put it in. I would say I remember working at ESPN, and we had these Michael Sam, and you see same-sex relationships. Some people were shocked, but it's not shocking anymore, and that's That's wonderful. So I'm going to start the party. I dare you guys.
I'm in. Yeah, right.
But I just said it's like another.
And the combination of love and football, and that it comes from
Love
Juan
and
Pablo.
football.
That it comes from Juan Pablo Sorin, right? That a player down in Argentina, ex-player down in Argentina. That he's tying it all together. Shows you how global it is for me.
Yeah. And a player that played for Juventus for one season. I actually, when you posted this, I had looked it up and saw Juan Pablo Sorin, and I was like, I remember him being in Italy, and I did not remember he was at Juventus.
Well, he's working in the United States, so hopefully we can get him on the show at some point. I know he's a fan.
Great
I don't know
hair.
about that part, but I know a person knows a person. Great hair, great beard. All right, let's keep it going. Mark, you're up.
Well, do you guys remember a couple of months ago when there was the fantastic James Corbin thing with David Beckham, and they had the
Tony Awards? No, I know, the statue.
Exactly, the statue and the whole prank that he pulled on him. Well, if you remember, all of his good friends actually call him Dave Beckham, and they thought that he plays for Man City. There was one guy who was in the piece there who kept calling him, gosh, yeah, all those trophies you won with Man City. I love that Victoria Beckham kept the theme going, and she trolled him with a Man City jersey that says Dave on the back. I could watch that clip of when the statue fell and everything went down from all the Galaxy brass, and David being there going like, you can't show this, but it was fantastic that Victoria, Posh Spice, right?
Yes.
She keeps.
You know Spice
Don't
Girls?
pretend like you had to ask us.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I kind of want that signed Dave Man City jersey. That's a collector's item right there.
I love that face on Beckham. I've never seen him throw that.
I love that he is more upset for that Man
happy?
City jersey than the statue.
Yes.
I mean, you can see the
Hello,
hatred.
Dave.
Oh, so we're 2 for 2 with double taps, guys?
All right, Vince, no pressure.
No pressure, Vince.
No pressure. Mine is son of a legend, Zinedine Zidane's son, doing a little keepy-uppies. I'm sure you can do this, Max, right? You just do a little juggling. Or do you kick the ball 50 feet in the air and then take it down with the sole of your boot?
Well, you saw me at the staff game on Tuesday, and I ran out of gas and I chipped my tooth.
Max, they are still talking about your performance at the staff game. I won't say what they were talking about.
Did they mention the game-winning goal?
I was just going to say, that's all I saw from the post was that he had the game winner.
That's all Max talks about, but our performance staff has to review the entire body of Max's work. And
all right, well,
sorry, Max, you might not be invited back.
No, I'm back. I'm back next time.
He's back.
Do you think that we can get maybe for another episode of Black and Gold, we can get some video of that maybe?
We have to.
Okay.
That will not get a double like. This will get a double like, though. That's skills. I love second generation or third generation footballers.
Look, Enzo Zidane that touch is ridiculous.
Oh, man, I forgot. It's Enzo, named after Enzo Francescoli. That was the idol of Zidane. He's one of my favorite players. I'm old, guys. I know about Enzo Francescoli.
I can't believe we're going to go 3 for 3 today.
Enzo Francescoli.
Well, we all pick things that you really can't go against.
That's
Zidane,
true.
Love, and David Beckham getting trolled.
That's true.
All right, guys, great stuff. This is getting really good. We've been a well-oiled machine on this show. We will see you out at this stadium.
Vince and I did the heavy lifting.
That's not true. We'll see you at the stadium, and we'll have a great time. Hey, July is here. Second half of the season is upon us. It's going to be a lot of fun. On behalf of everyone here, we'll see you soon on the next LAFC Black and Gold.
Check out the latest episode of LAFC in 30.
Diego Rossi! Picking up where he left off in season 1. Oh, it's a lovely time by Diamande!
Catch all the action.
Right here on YouTube TV.
When you have doctors working as a team for your health, you get the care you need to help you thrive. Visit kp.org to learn more. Kaiser Permanente. Thrive.